everyone, welcome back to the cottage. I'm Cheyenne with the Rosevine Cottage Girls, and today we are going to be making the most delicious, crispy dill pickles that are canned. So this is one of our favorite recipes to use. It keeps your pickles nice and crispy so you don't have that mush, and if you like the softer pickles, that's fine, but I am a really big lover of that nice crunch. So this is one of our favorite recipes, and it's super easy to make. Let's get started. We're going to need 3 quarts of water. We're using a filtered water, but spring water will also work. A quart of white vinegar, 3/4 cup of canning salt, a teaspoon and a half of dry dill. You could opt for using fresh dill and putting a sprig in each jar, but I don't have fresh dill right now, so we're going with this. And then last but not least, fresh garlic. Alright, so before we get to the pickling stage, we're going to take our cucumbers and wash them, make sure they're nice and clean, and then dissolve a cup of our pickling lime in 2 gallons of water and let our pickles sit in that solution overnight. This is going to help to keep the pickles nice and crispy. So now we are ready to make our brine. We're going to combine our 3 cups of water, or 3 quarts, excuse me. I need more coffee. And a quart of vinegar, and our 3/4 cup of canning salt. Alright, we are going to bring this to a boil, and then it'll be ready for the cucumbers. We're going to remove about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch off the blossom side of your cucumber, and this is the opposite side, so this is where it would connect to the plant. Now we're going to do hamburger chips this time, but you can do any type that you would normally like. We've done spears, we've done sandwich strips. You can even do them whole if you want. Actually, I think I may try that later on. I'm going to try to keep them about the same thickness. I meant to sharpen this knife before I started. You're just going to keep going until you have enough cucumbers to fill the amount of jars you're going to do. And if you don't have enough brine, you can always make a second batch if you need to, or whatever, third. What you want to make sure that you're using pickling cucumbers though, not fresh eating cucumbers. And that they're not overripe. You want to use cucumbers that are still quite hard and firm. That way they're peak freshness and you're not already getting mushy and then trying to work from there. Also, you are going to want to wash the lime. You're going to want to wash the lime solution off of your cucumbers before you pickle them, because it can make them bitter if it's left on. So we've got quite the pile going here, and our brine has begun to simmer, so we should be at boiling soon. You could go ahead and add the dill to your brine before you boil it. I just forgot to add it, so we're going to add it after we get it boiling. And if you haven't done it already, now's a great time to get your jars washed, sanitized, and ready to start packing. So we're ready to start packing our jars. I'm going to add garlic to the bottom. You can do more than one clove if you want, but I'm just going to toss one in there this time. And then just start filling it up with the cucumbers. Just kind of nicely pack them in there. And then once you've got it full, you can move on to the next jar. There we go. Now, if you're using fresh dill, now's the time to insert them into your jars. But since I'm using dry, I've already added it to the brine. You could also add some red pepper flakes if you would like. There we go. And don't forget to leave your headspace, which will be about a ½ inch. There we go. I'm a little shy on cucumbers, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some more. This would be a great time to pull out some of these beautiful seeds for next year's garden. Just sit them on a paper towel or a piece of parchment paper and let them dry completely before packaging them up for next year. Alright, we're going to pour our brine over our jars. Oop, too much. Get frozen away. Next jar, dump a little bit of that into it. There we go, a little bit more. Alright, so we are going, I'm using a butter knife, but they sell debubblers you can use. I just never can happen to find mine when I need it. And you're just going to gently insert it around your pickles, moving around to release the air. And you'll see the air bubbles rise up to the surface. Once you go all the way around, you're going to wipe the lid, make sure you still have a ½ inch headspace. Somehow or another that tends to sneak up on you. I grabbed the wrong lid, so I'll be right back. Alright, you're going to top with a lid and then finger tighten the rings down. Make sure you don't cross thread them. There we go. You don't want to over tighten it because it needs to allow the air to come out while it's canning, and then it'll seal and be perfect. Moving on. to get the air out, you can just kind of shove those back in if you displace them. Wipe the rim, top with a lid. I need to go get another band. I'll be right back. Some people recommend wiping the rims of your jars with vinegar. I don't find that necessary for pickles. So we're going to be steam canning these instead of boiling water canner. It helps to keep them nice and crispy without overcooking. No, I didn't debubble that one. Thought it was going to sneak through, didn't you? So while you are doing this, now's a great time to get your steam canner on the stove. You're going to fill the bottom with water up to the inserted tray, and then just begin letting it heat so you're not sitting your jars on cold metal after being nice and warm. Steam canning, if you've never canned before, is probably the easiest way to go. It's kind of a cross between pressure canning and boiling water canning. But very, very simple and a great place for beginners to start. I actually find myself using our steam canner much more often than I do our boiling water canner since we brought it home, especially for things like pickles. Alright, so let's go ahead and start loading these so we can clear our counter space off a little bit. Let's go ahead and start loading these in the canner. Just going to cover or fill your pan up to the edge, bottom edge of this tray. Get it warm, and then just start placing your jars on it. I think this will fit about 7, but I can't remember exactly, so we'll just see. Alright, so we're just going to continue filling it in. Once we are full, we'll add the lid and let it get to the proper temperature for our location. It's got a gauge on top that will tell you different zones, and so it's by your elevation. And once you figure that out, you let it heat till the lever is in, or the gauge is in your green zone, and then you'll start canning it. Alright, so our canner is filled. We're going to add the lid, increase the temperature to high, and we're going to wait for our gauge to hit our ring. Okay, so we've hit our green zone, and we are going to turn the pan down to low and set the timer for 5 minutes. Timer has gone off. We're going to gently remove this from the heat and let it cool for 5 minutes. And while that is going on, you're going to want to grab several towels and layer them on your counter so you don't burn your canner when you have to pull these off. Now's a great time to get your jar grabber or a hot pan holder. I actually prefer a hot pan holder for these. And then you'll be ready to remove these from your canner. You're above this lid. You're going to want to gently move it away from you. That way you don't burn yourself with the steam. And then gently remove your jars. I want to sit them on the towel, not touching each other. And be careful not to grab them with your bare hands because they're quite hot. There we go. Now we're ready to do our next batch, or if that's all you have, then you're ready to just let them cool. We're going to leave them on the towels for about 24 hours. Don't touch them, just leave them alone. Can you hear the popping already? The lids will seal as they begin to cool. Just ignore them. I know it's hard. Don't go around poking at them. Once they cool off, if you notice that there is one that hasn't sealed, just go ahead and pop that one in the fridge. And then you can remove the rings, label your jars, and they're ready to go in your pantry. So we are done canning. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Perfect. Still crunchy, perfectly salty, dilly. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. Totally worth making if you love your dill, crispy, crunchy pickles. This is the recipe to go with. Make sure that you check out the description down below for all the links that you may need, the recipe, subscriber toolboxes, and all our freebies. All of that you can find down below. And if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe to the channel so you can see more content like this, and we'll see you next time at the cottage. Bye.